Hi there, it's Kevin with GatherMagic.com with match number 1 with our updated version of the Black-White Enchantments. Yes, we'd like to keep this hand. It has everything we need. I think that instead of a Stasis Snare, we'd like either Silkwrap or Suspension Field to try to set up a Wasteland Strangler, but we have the Shambling Vent or Read the Bones. This is a perfect hand. Go ahead and keep it. And this is not going to be a league, still stuck in a league with another deck. Would like to start doing leagues more. Oh, you can't change decks within leagues, so it's just a better value-based tournament structure than doing these 2 and 8-man queues on MCGO. But there's a Silkwrap now. This makes our hand a lot more interesting. But this is going to be in an 8-man queue, so we'll see if we can take this down with the Black-White Enchantments. We'll play one more match after that. What if Foothills could be basically any deck in the format? And it goes and gets a Smoldering Marsh. This leads me to believe that it's most likely going to be... Okay, I was going to say a Tarka Red with that setup. But now they have the Jeskai Black colors out on board. And we'll go ahead and just throw out a Plains and pass the turn. And then we can Stasis Snare or Silkwrap any of his cards. I think we just do play a Plains here and pass the turn. I'm not going to throw out a Wasteland Strangler that doesn't have a target. So far no Jace. Tasker could be coming down here if he drops another land. It's just going to be a morph card. I think we will Stasis Snare that. And see what's underneath it. It's going to be a Den Protector. So, is this... This is going to be a 4-color deck then. Or a 5-color deck. This could be a Bring to Light. And so let's put the Barrens. Yeah, we're going to go with the Barrens into play tapped. And then use one of these Read the Bones. And I'll put both of these on bottom so we get rid of 2 lands. And find us, there's our Myth Realized. So we have 2 of our more powerful cards in the Citadel Siege and the Myth Realized. And see what our opponent missed a land drop last turn. So you can go Jace. We'll Silkwrap the Jace. And this just really makes me think this is Bring to Light. Usually Bring to Light uses Den Protectors and Jace as their earlier drops. And then they use Bring to Light with just a ton of 1s and a bunch of Siege Rhinos. So we will go ahead and cast the Myth Realized. And then Silkwrap. No, we'll kill the Jace with the Wasteland Strangler. That's a much better play. And give him back a Den Protector and kill the Jace. Alright, so Jace and a Den Protector, 2 value-based cards, are out of the way. Our opponent's still missing land drops. We have a Myth Realized on board. He's going to fire Impulse with the Strangler, but it already got value. And Myth Realized is a lot harder for him to deal with as the game goes on. He could have like an Utter End. Usually with Bring to Light they run at least 1 Utter End, 1 Crackling Doom. This looks like Tassiger is going to come out. Now Tassiger I actually can Quarantine Field, which I think I will. I mean, you can't activate Tassiger at the moment, and I could just Citadel Siege. I think I'd rather... Still in a land drop, so this is good. I think Quarantine Field might be a little bit early. I just might Blood Curse Knight. Well, I think that we'll Quarantine Field here. And then hit him for 1 with the Myth Realized. I think this is... still a decent little play. It's not the best damage yet with the Myth Realized. It would have been a lot better, of course, if we would have got that out first turn. So it's still not the Bring to Light mana, but he does have mana for the Siege Rhino. We can name dragons on the Citadel Siege. Another Barrens. We will throw the Barrens out. And I think at this point we just chuck out a Blood Curse Knight. And I still think I'll read the bones here. And we want both of these. We'll put the Quarantine Field on top. I think the Strangler can also go on top. Yeah, they're both decent cards. And that way, if he plays like another Jace or Den Protector, we can always kill it. So, just pass the turn. We're definitely in the driver's seat here. We have Myth Realize it's ticking up. And he's going to be able to Silkwrap on the Blood Curse Knight. We can Utter in and get it back at instant speed. We still are Fire Impulse. Yeah, we're in Fire Impulse range for the Myth Realized. I think I'm just going to Citadel Siege here. And then activate the Myth Realized. Because I don't know for just 2 mana what he can do to get rid of black, red, and green. So, not quite sure exactly. Like another Fire Impulse will do it. If I activated, I wouldn't have enough to then... Oh no, it'll be a 3/3. So... I think I just activate the Myth Realized. Or even activate the Shambling Vent. And see what happens. This is going to be my play. This might not end up being the best play. We're going to name cons here. I guess I could name dragons. But this is a nice little finish here with the Shambling Vent. Dragons taps down a creature at the beginning of combat on each opponent's turn. Cons puts 2 counters on it, so I think I'm going to name Cons. And... oh, it didn't have a... yeah, I messed this up. It didn't have a target. I was going to activate the Shambling Vent first. So it triggers at the beginning, and since it didn't have a target, it didn't even hit the stack. I thought it would at least stack, and then I could activate. But Mantis Rider, I don't care about a Mantis Rider. It's something I can Silkwrap. Or Wasteland Strangler. Strangler's actually better. So we'll just go ahead and put a counter on the Myth Realized. And now it's above the Fire Impulse range. So I have a hard time thinking I'm going to lose this. There's a Hangarback. So we are just going to cast the Strangler. And then give him back a Tassiger. So he's going to kill it with Fire Impulse. That's awesome, though, because now I can activate the Shambling Vent. Or just the Myth Realized. And then I can... Yeah, I think that it's just activate the Mithralized. And we can just Hangarback for 1. Put the counters on the Hangarback. And attacking with the Mithralized. I don't know if the counters on the Mithralized would be better, but I'd like to diversify my threats because this looks like it's Jeskai 5-color Jeskai deck. I don't know. This is 5-color good stuff. And they're going to use a lot of like Crackling Dooms, Utter Ends, things like that. They can get rid of specific permanents. I guess Silkwrap on the Hangarback Walker is annoying. So now I would have, of course, rather had... We can Quarantine Field. Now, we don't need a Quarantine Field because our Hangarback just dies if that's the case. Looks like another Tasigur is going to come out. But at this point, he's playing with old Tasigur to get Silkwrap. Yeah, just Quarantine Field for 2 is still the right play. And we can still activate the Mithralized. And this way I'll put him on a 2-turn clock with the Mithralized. And now he's got to find a way to deal with the Mithralized, and we still have a Blood Cursed left. So he's down to a 5. Haven't seen much of his deck beyond Tasigur's. Like, I don't know if I want to put the Suspension Fields in as a full. Our Sideboard is actually really good as far as Duresses and Transgress. Transgress hits a lot of things in his deck. Duress hits quite a few cards in his deck as well. And he's going to destroy... He's going to do 2 damage to the... And make me discard a card. Okay, so we'll get rid of the Silkwrap. And now he's got to use the other Fire Impulse on a Blood Cursed, but we still win. Another Kolaghan's Command, again, other end. Oh, he dies next turn to the activation of Mithralized. So, we'll just go ahead and do that. And swing in for lethal. Whoops. Didn't want to hit that reveal hand button. We'll go on to the sideboard here. I think the Suspension Field may come in. Surge of Righteousness is also kind of good against Mantis Rider and against the Siege Rhino. It's good versus Siege Rhino. It's good versus Mantis Rider. It's good versus Tasigur. Now, Duress, it's just like all of these cards. This is a deck, since it's playing just a good stuff deck, that basically all of the cards can do well against. I'm not quite sure I want to run Blood Curse Knight in this one. It just dies too easily to Fire Impulse. That we know he's running at least 3 of. Didn't we see 3 Fire Impulses? And he's going to keep him in. Hangarback Walker also dies to Silkwrap. If we take it out, there's really nothing the Silkwraps can target. And I think I'd rather be proactive that way and then just start running a few. Like, I think I'll keep in 1 Silkwrap of my own to deal with Jace. And we'll keep in the Utter Ends, we'll keep in the Quarantine Fields, the Reeds, the Stasis Snares. We can bring in 1 Infinite Obliteration. It's kind of cool because we can just name a card. We can name Tasigur and get rid of all Tasigurs, or name Mantis Rider, get rid of all Mantis Riders or Siege Rhinos. I haven't seen enough. We will bring in a Surge of Righteousness or 2. I think they're actually pretty good. I'm going to bring in just 1 of Duress, another Transgress the Mind. We'll bring in another Suspension Field. I think Suspension Fields actually hit more of the problematic cards. I guess we can keep in a Silkwrap. A Planar Outburst can actually work now because we've cut basically all of our creatures. So I think I will bring in just a Planar Outburst as kind of a late game. Yeah, I'm just all over the place here. So we're really relying on Shambling Vent and Mythrealize to win us this game. This is where Gideon is a lot better. I think we can take out a Citadel Siege now. It's not as good. We still have the combo with Citadel Siege though. And yeah, I'll just submit this. He's got a lot of dead cards versus us. We do have no dead cards. I mean, this is a pretty decent little lineup. I think we'll go ahead and keep this. We have our sources. We have a Wasteland Strangler and a Suspension Field. And he puts a card on the bottom of his library, so he did not like his top card. We'll lead off with a Scoured Barrens. And then we'll have Suspension Field for like a Tassiger or... So it's Jace that's going to be the problem card. If he has Jace, I'm not quite sure if we can... I mean, we can deal with subsequent cards, but he gets a lot of value with Jace. And it's very hard for us to deal with Jace until that we do Suspension Field something. So let's hope that's not the case. Is a turn 2 Jace. And it is a turn 2 Jace. So here's what Silkwrap would have been a lot better. Stasis Snare at least can give us an out for Jace. I hope that he plays just a basic white source. Like he fled his strands here for a plains. And then would... Oh, he's going to Duress me. So he's going to take my Stasis Snare. And I think that he's just going to continue to try to get value out of Jace. He's got to find a way to deal with... I mean, card advantage-wise, he should catch up with us with the Jace. Pretty sure he takes the Stasis Snare unless he's got a way to... handle... or a way to handle the Stasis Snare, or plays like a second Jace. Yeah, he does take the Stasis Snare. This allows his Jace to keep looting. He wouldn't Tassiger here. There's no way. So he'll loot with Jace, and then that flips Jace immediately. Wow, that is quite aggressive. A turn 3 flips Jace. That then allows him to flashback. I just have to keep him off of 9. He does have a Duress. He can flashback. Unfortunately, I think I just cast this Wasteland Strangler just to put him on a little bit of a... He has to now be reactive to this. I can Citadel Siege. Like, I can actually see him just flashing back a Duress and making me get rid of another card. Really? That is interesting because I'll just cast the Citadel Siege and then... unless he's got a counter for it. He does have a Disdainful Stroke. I'm surprised he brought in Disdainful Stroke. Was there a lot of cards with converted mana cost 4 or greater? I guess the Quarantine Field. But we'll go ahead and attack into Jace. So here comes Tassiger. A Treasure Cruise. Still can't do anything with the Stasis Snare. Once again, attack into the Jace. And think maybe a second Strangler is the way to go. And this way there's 2 targets. He's got a Fire Impulse one if he has one. Six cards still left in our opponent's hand. This one's going to be an uphill battle. And I'm pretty sure this is going to get Silkwrapped or when I attack in. We'll go and attack with the Stranglers into Jace. Need to find like a Read the Bones to fill back up our hand. A Shambling Vent would also be very good. Kolaghan's Command. Yep. And I have to discard a card. At this point, I think I'll discard the land. And we'll keep Jace down at 6 as much as possible. And this is giving me more information. I wonder how much, if he took out, just completely took out like Mantis Riders. Because they die pretty easily to Wasteland Strangler. So he still hasn't been hitting a lot of land drops. He has exiled 3 or 4 fetch lands, so 8 of his lands are gone. And here's Siege Rhino. Which we will Suspension Field. I think Suspension Field rather than Stasis Snare at end of turn is better. Well, this gives us a play. Yeah, we'll Stasis Snare it. This allows us to attack into Jace one more time. There's a Mithrilize. That gives us something at least to do. Attack one more time into Jace. So Infinite Obliteration will be good. I think he's playing a full set of Siege Rhinos. And that might be his win condition now. This looks like it's going to be another treasure cruise. Or a Murder's Cut? That has to be Murder's Cut. He only had black open. And then I guess he just second guessed himself because Mithrilize is a lot better too. Murder's Cut. But that gave us information that it's in his hand. So attacking a Jace. And we'll read the bones. Hopefully this does not get countered. This would be a very good card for him to counter. And it hits, so... Oh, no, okay, that's just the counter on. So Transgress and Suspend... I don't think we need another Suspension Field. We'll put this on the bottom. I'll put the Transgress on top. And then we'll have a Duress and a Transgress. And see if he treasure cruises end a turn here. At this point, I think he might just be flashing back a treasure cruise with his Jace. I'm surprised he keeps ticking it up. Silkwrap on the Strangler. And ticks up Jace. We do need another black source. And there's another Jace. It's going to be able to loot him. A lot of cards here. So I think that Duress is just better than Transgress because we know we hit. Hate to see that. We can get rid of a Murderous Cut here. Or an Utter End. Yeah, Utter End's the more powerful card to get rid of. I can get rid of Murderous Cut right now and then attack into Jace. And then make him lose a Jace. But then he can Utter End at any time. Utter End can get back. I'm going to get rid of the Murderous Cut. I think it's a little more powerful. I might keep a Plains in hand just for Kolaghan's Command. So I'm going to... activate the Mithralized. And attack into Jace. Like I said, I'm sure he'll throw the other Jace in front of it. Well, it at least hits down Jace pretty nicely. Down to a 3 on Jace, so now if he flashes him back next turn, it's gone. But then he can flip the other Jace. Alright, what did he choose to target? Treasure Cruise. Which I'm okay with. And he doesn't have the utter end mana now. And he can't, Jace does not flip. So I'm definitely, okay, he does have the utter end mana now. Let's see if he decides to use it. And where does he decide to use it? If he utter ends on the Mithralized, looks like he's just a Mantis Rider. I'm definitely okay with the Mantis Rider because we can surge it whenever. And now we can Transgress to get that utter end out of his hand. He's got all lands left. So we'll just attack you with the Mithralized. I could actually suspension field the Mantis Rider. Yeah, we'll do that. Still going to keep the planes in my hand for another Kolaghan's Command. 3 lands in our opponent's hand. This should flip the Jace now. But Transgress was pretty nice to actually get rid of the other end for good. That way he can't flash it back with Jace. And he's going to go for Duress. Duress can get rid of Surge of Righteousness or a Transgress. I think he might not have anything for the Transgress in his hand. Oh, okay, so he does. Hoping it's not like a murderous cut. Or a Crackling Doom. We'll attack into him. And it does look like he did get the Crackling Doom. And now we're both back to pretty much even here. I know he's got 2 more cards in hand, or 2 more lands in hand. I'm pretty sure that we saw the other lands in hand. He hasn't discarded. He could discard one of them. Maybe play the other, so maybe he's got another unknown. We'll read the bones here. And we can Quarantine Field to get back a Wasteland. So I'm going to put this on bottom, put this on top. And now we have another Read the Bones. I'm still going to keep the Plains in hand as a card to discard. That's a Den Protector, which can get a Crackling Doom or a Kolaghan's Command back, which is annoying. But we'll Quarantine Field. Get Jace and the Silkwrap. And also give him back a land here. He'll flip it over to get, I'm pretty sure, a Crackling Doom. A Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, Kolaghan's Command works. Yeah, that's probably better than a Crackling Doom. And hit. Flooded Strand back. And now he can end a turn Kolaghan's Command on the Wasteland Strangler and make me discard a card, but we got the Plains in hand to pitch. What did he just target with Kolaghan's Command? Oh, he returned. Oh, yes, he can return the Den Protector. That's a really good combo. Yeah, because now I can just keep getting back Kolaghan's Command with Den Protector. Jace again comes out. And the Den Protector. I guess this could get me through the Crackling Doom, the Kolaghan's Command, the combo with Kolaghan's Command in. We'll go ahead and throw out. We'll read again. And Wasteland Strangler can kill Jace. So put this on top. I guess I should have been giving him back stuff out of my And put this on bottom. Another Surge of Righteousness doesn't do much. And then pass the turn. Yeah, that's a brutal, brutal combination. So Surge of Righteousness aren't doing very much for me. I think I'll take them out next game if we go to a next game. He can actually Colgan's can the Wasteland Strangler, and I'm stuck with the Den Protector. Or yeah, this just wins the game. He had another Crackling Doom in hand. Can attack into Den Protector, and then Colgan's command me for the remainder of the damage. Alright, so go on to game number 3. That was an extremely close game. I think we need to bring in the Silkwraps. We have to get those Den Protectors and everything down. We'll get rid of the Surge of Righteousnesses. I don't think that they're the right play in here. Silkwraps are fine. Infinite Obliteration actually seems good too if we can just get rid of a card completely out of his deck. Duresses also seem good. I don't know. I wish I had a way to get rid of the graveyard. Completely get rid of their graveyard. Transgress still seems good. Transgress can get rid of a card forever. Maybe we don't need the other Infinite Obliteration. I think if we're going to go the Infinite Obliteration route, though, we do need Duresses. I still like Utter Ends. Anything that just completely gets rid of cards. And so Wasteland Strangler, I think I'm going to go down in a few of these. It just seemed to die too easily. Maybe all of them. But then this really makes it a late game where I'm killing with Myth-Realized. And takes away a lot of my win conditions. But I think it's necessary to try to combat this because he's bringing a lot of ways to still Silkwrap. I don't believe his Silkwrap has a target now. And we'll submit this. So after on Shambling Vent and Myth Realized, it's going to be a very, very heavy creature or a control-based strategy. This is where I'd love a Gideon in the deck. Yes, I'd like to play first. This is fine. We'll keep it. Have to play fast. We're down to 7 minutes and 50 seconds, and this is going to go the distance. We're too slow for... Unfortunately, we're too slow for Jace with the Duress. But we do have 2 Infinite Obliterations that can get rid of Siege Rhino. Quarantine Field's nice. We'll Duress. See what we can get rid of. Might Duress a Duress if he has a Duress in his hand. Painful Truce, Silkwrap, Disdainful Stroke. I don't care about any of these except for the Painful Truce. We'll get rid of the Painful Truce. We know that he's got a Jace and a Tassiger in there as well. We can definitely get rid of Tassiger next turn with the Infinite Obliteration. Jace is going to be annoying here. If he decides for whatever reason not to cast. Alright, so Jace is going to be gone now with Infinite Obliteration. If he gets greedy and goes for a Duress, I hope he just takes the Quarantine Field. Yes, perfect. So we can still Utter End the Tassiger. That's fine. So we will Transgress here for Jace. Or Infinite Obliteration. For Jace. Vryn's Prodigy. So he's got a Disdainful Stroke and a Tassiger and a Silkwrap. And then we can look at the rest of the deck. The next one I think we are going to name as Siege Rhino. And then we've completely got everything but a Mantis Rider. See if he Tassigers here. If he does, we can't quite under-end it, so I'll just get Siege Rhino. And this takes care of a lot of his cards. That actually makes this a lot easier of a decision, because we can just suspension field it. And we have the Shambling Vent as the win condition, so we just need to play quickly. So I will name the Siege Rhino. Hope he doesn't just have a Siege Rhino in hand. We do know it's the Silkwrap and a Disdainful Stroke. There's the Den Protector. I don't think I quite under-end the Den Protector yet. Planar Outburst will work. We'll deal with it. He can get back a Painful Truth, though. I think we do. All right, now Infinite Obliteration. Siege Rhino. He can't counter this with Disdainful Stroke. He has a Crackling Doom and a Silkwrap, and the only other win condition now he has is a Tassiger and a Mantis Rider. And 2 Den Protectors. So he's quite out of cards. We have another Shambling Vent that we just have to play quickly here, because he does have that Crackling Doom. I think that, I don't know, I think we just pass the turn here. I don't even think I cast anything, because Disdainful Stroke is a pain. We need him to tap out of that. Not going to run into a Crackling Doom. Kolaghan's Commander a bit of an issue too. Oh, come on. That was not what I wanted to see. I can Citadel Siege, but then he can't morph over a Den Protector. If he Disdainful Strokes here, I make him use it. I think the only thing I do here is activate the Shambling Vent and attack in. See if he wants to flip over to get a Painful Truth. And he will get the Painful Truth. So we still know he's got a Silkwrap and a Painful Truth now. And he will go Painful Truth, goes down to an 11. Finds a Windswept. Does attack with the Den Protector. I'm not quite sure that's the right play, because I can just keep attacking with the Shambling Vents. Do I keep a Plains in? I don't think I do, because we can start to just activate both of these. He can Crackling Doom one of them. He's down to an 8. We have one more land we can Planar Outburst with Awaken, but he still does have that Disdainful Stroke in hand. And if this is a Tasker here, is one other Tasker in his deck. Ay, ay, ay. We got to get that Disdainful Stroke out of the way. So I'm going to try just to Citadel Siege. Wow. Huh. And I think I still keep the... planes in my hand due to a Kolaghan's Command. And he'll mill with Tasigur. And I have to give him back a Crackling Doom over... I'll give him back the Manish Rider. Maybe that's not the right play. That probably isn't the right play. Because he'll play the Manish Rider, still have that Disdainful Stroke up. So I'm going to tap down the Tasigur. And take 6. And this allows us to attack in. We'll play this one. It's just that Disdainful Stroke. So we will... Wait, this only goes on our opponents. Yeah, I think we just lose here, unfortunately. Needed to hit something beside the planes there. Just the or we need to Duress out. So out of one Manish Rider, one Den Protector, and one Tasigur, he found them all within his next few cards. But if somehow I can draw that Duress to get out the Disdainful Stroke, we should be okay. So let's see what we can do here. No, it's another Plains. I can Shambling Vent. I think I just died to a Crackling Doom here on this next turn. So close of a game. Thought we had him with Infinite Obliterations, getting rid of all of his threats. Little Tasigur. And either now we have to give back a win condition. Give him back a Silkwrap here. This one we have to tap the Manish Rider. And we'll tag him with both here. And this is where we have to activate the Shambling Vent. Which could die a number of ways. Crackling Doom will do it. Alrighty, well, that was close. See what we'd have drawn into. Just, well, 4 lands in a row. Any one of those cards, like Suspension Field, taking care of a Tasigur. Anything just that we could have got the Disdainful Stroke out of his hand would have worked. Stasis Snare would have worked. Even Silkwrap at this point would have got the job done, but not lands. We'll go on to the next match. This is Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Playing on a Budget. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Gathering Magic and check out our Playing on a Budget playlist, which contains every episode. Thanks again and hope to see you soon.